everybody. Today, I have a special guest with me, Mr. Atique Mohammed, and he's the CEO of Advantix Process Quality Assurance, a wonderful company that allows him to uh, train and coach highly qualified specialists in different organizations for business process improvement, team management, and people engagement. He is a member at YesGulf as well and has been very productively helping many professionals in improving their performance in their organizations through different talks. He's a very well-known public speaker and a leading management expert. You can always seek help from him whenever you need one. Hello, Mr. Atique. How are you doing?
Well, good afternoon. Yes, Nousheen, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. It's my pleasure to have you with us today. We'll be able to learn some great team management insights from Mr. Atique.
Pleasure is all mine, yes.
Sir, how are you managing your team at the moment and your clients? Since we are all working remotely, we don't go to offices anymore and we have our own pace for our work.
Well, that's what you should stay home and stay safe. You shouldn't be moving out in the abouts, and yes, avoid contacting people. Social distancing is very important to break the chain, so that's what we are doing. Now, I work individually, but then I have a lot of networks where I connect with people. I am a part of BNI, I am part of an incentive group, I am part of Toastmasters, and then there are other friends around, my customers, my colleagues, where we connect. Now, Zoom is coming out to be one of the best platforms where we are connecting on daily basis and multiple times. Now, I had already 2 meetings in the morning. This is my third interaction with you. And then I have immediately at 4 o'clock another meeting with a person of common interest. So we are actually finding different ways. I mean, there is always a way out to do your work. I mean, no matter what. So yes, there's no stopping. For when you need to do work, you have to work. There's no stopping.
Exactly. We always have to find a fair way out whenever there is a situation. So how do we keep ourselves motivated? Are you making use of any different practices than usual that help you stay organized and motivated while you're working from home?
Okay. Frankly speaking, I'm a very, very old school kind of a guy. I have my own diary and planner, and I used to do that when this thing was not there. So a lot of people used to be like sort of surprised that, okay, I still maintain a diary. I maintain the timings. I don't commit to anybody without looking at my diary for a meeting or a conference or whatever. So that's still going on. The good thing is that now I am stationed at one place. So earlier I used to drive, and a lot of time used to go away in driving. So especially in Dubai, when you're moving from Jabal Ali to, let's say, there, and then so forth, at least 1.5 hours was wasted in driving and traffic and all. That's the plus point. Now we don't need to do that, and we are at home. We have that ample time to connect with people. So best thing is maintain a diary. I mean, you have electronic diaries. You have your laptop with you in front of you. You're using Zoom. So you have your Outlook or your Google Calendar or whatever. There are people who are using different apps like Calendarly and then stuff. So it's all there. So just maintain yourself accordingly and then stick to the time. It's as simple as that.
Yes, yeah. True. Do you feel that there is any hazard in communication when you're using apps? Like, is there something new or you're used to it?
Well, I was used to it because, okay, I used to work in the corporate environment in a multinational. So we used to interact on global, let's say, meetings and then discussions. We used to have round the world meeting between China, Finland, England, Italy, and UAE at the same time with people from Iran and even what do you call Southeast Asia. So at different times, we used to have meetings 9 o'clock in the night when we were remotely at home at those days also. So I'm kind of used to it. The only sort of concern is that people never adopted this technology because of certain limitations or hesitation. Now, I don't see why there is a hesitation. There was a time when we used to have phones with the dials. Yeah. And now we have smartphones. So people change. It's just that you have to adopt to the new or the changing environment, and that's it.
Exactly. One should be flexible and ready to
Sure.
face, even if it's disruption, ready to face it. And yes,
Readiness
there
is
are too many.
the key.
There are too many ideas that are floating even on the social media. So
Yeah.
I wanted to know, how active are you on social media, and which social media channel you are relying on these days? What do you recommend to our audience?
Okay, I'm not a social media kind of a person, but yes, I am seriously working on LinkedIn now. I have just joined a program with 5 days LinkedIn workshop with this guy Vic, and that's proving out to be really good. My profile is already there. I used to connect with people on LinkedIn, but I never used it the way it should be probably. So now I'm looking into the video content development. I'm looking into connecting with people with Vic into different industries, especially. And then okay, there is another good friend of mine. You also know he's a good friend of yours also, Shoaib. He is a he's a LinkedIn freak, I would say, but in a positive way,
Yeah.
and he's connected to many people, and then he's connecting a lot of people on LinkedIn. His content is very good, and I think
Yes.
to work now professionally and in this environment, LinkedIn is a platform where people should concentrate and then work on.
Yeah, you were talking about making video content on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
So, uh, as a business leader, somebody who's coaching and training so many different experts on so many different levels, uh, what kind of content strategy are you going to have? Will it be informative, knowledge based, or
yeah.
tips, or entertaining, or
Well,
brief us about it?
yeah. Since I'm a professional and then I'm into corporate world, and my most of the content relates to the corporate world. It's all about policy making, building your let's say organization in a structured manner, developing your strategies, developing your procedures in a way that they are more aligned with the the competence of your employees around, having a corporate culture where people are more self-responsible rather than being pushed and then dragged into. I was actually reading one of my good friends in Pakistan, and he's a professor in a university, and his post was really interesting. What he said was, ask the leadership who wanted every employee to be present in the organization, where are they standing now? Ask all the leaders who had a mandatory requirement of attendance, where are they standing now? Work is still going on. People are still doing work from home. People are still doing their jobs remotely. um, Ministries are working, the governments are working. Look at UAE.
Yeah, the
UAE
communication flow is
government
just
is
as it
working.
was.
Exactly. Now, if you look at it, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed had a lot of posts, and then again, their media is so strong that they're proactive. Before it could sort of, it was a lot before they realized that okay, this is a need of the hour, and then we have to set an example for others to follow. Now, if you have to put a policy in place, you have to be an example by yourself. So when government went online and then started doing their work online, the private sector had no hesitation to do that. So that was
Exactly.
something which is a positive note. So like yes, we there shouldn't be any issue for us also to follow.
True. And it's very, very convenient. Like we save a lot of time, like you have said earlier, the time that we used to spend on roads traveling. We
Driving,
save
yeah,
that and we be more productive.
and then you're relaxing at home. Come on, you're still in a relaxed environment. You can have your own tea, coffee, whatever you like. I'm also see holding a cup because it's there. Whereas while you're driving or while you're in a different environment, it's not an easy thing or a normality for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're always in a good state
Yeah. But I
and
happen
safe.
to miss a
More
lot of
important.
people, since I was a people's person.
Call them online. I'm telling you, we are having this community talks in a center online. And I mean, we have a formal way, 1 hour meeting, and there is 10, 15 minutes afterwards, whoever wishes to stay. We do chat a
Okay.
little bit and then, yeah, relax as well.
We have those weekly events. We do sometimes twice a week, sometimes once a week
Yeah.
for the entire community, and everybody is there. Like we get some 25 to 30 people joining us in on live calls, and then in the room there is a lot of discussion going on. We share our experiences. We talk about business. We talk about fun stuff as well because that's essential.
I'll, I'll send you a link. There is this video by a guy, I think in States, if I'm not wrong. He's quarantined at home, and then he finds somebody across the street on the roof doing some exercise, and then he connects, and eventually they end up having a dinner on the roof on both sides, and he has I mean, so it's a very nice, and eventually they propose to each other.
Oh wow!
See, connecting people. It's still connecting people. It's just that you have to be a little innovative than the traditional way. So think out of the box and stay in the box, but think out of the box.
Yeah, stay in the box, but still think. That's the
Think out of the
paradox,
box.
you know.
Yeah. So we should be creative, and we should be like, okay, I'll try things. There's no harm
There's
in
no
trying.
harm.
What will happen? You'll
True.
fail once, you'll fail twice. Eventually, you'll end up making a ball,
Exactly.
right?
And a large number of people who've not been communicating online before were very allergic to gadgets and their computers and stuff. We all see them now making use of it. Some are learning as well. Like I just spoke to Mr. Naseem Smadi a few minutes back. He's a writer of some 20 books, and his
Mm-hmm.
new book about those 7 myths about successful people is coming very soon. So
Yeah.
he was telling me that he's not used to online communication, but now he's coping and he's learning. And I was very happy because he's going to be on an interview with us very soon as well. So yes,
See,
technology has been there with us. If it wasn't there,
that,
things would be very, very different. We
true.
should,
That's why they
yeah.
say
So all those people
when.
who were talking about hating social media and going through the feed all the time, I'm sure they
No.
are finding it much more useful now.
It
Because
is.
there
See,
is,
now probably I think this is a way of letting people realize that nothing stays permanent. There is always something which is new, which has to be adopted, and then you have to be ready for it. That's all.
true. So, did this disruption affect your business communication, Mr. I know it's a personal question, but I'm asking you to
No,
help
it
others.
did. No, true. It did. See, initially it took. I'll tell you, it took about a week. Now, okay, things are normal in this week. Last week it was a little kind of undecisive, little here, little there. People were not comfortable, people were not used to it. But I think slowly things are getting normal and people are getting used to it. Earlier, people would ask 100 questions, how to do it, how to connect, where to come, what to do. And
Yeah,
now it's just simple one link, you send them on WhatsApp, they connect, and then you're online. And within a matter of 10 to 15 minutes, you're online discussing with somebody. Let's say, for example, now I am here, my family is back home.
yeah,
And earlier, it was not possible to do okay, VoIP or any other media communication over the phone only. Now at least I can see my nephews and nieces playing around. I can talk to my brothers. I can talk to other family members and all. So it's that
different
there
now.
is always a blessing in something which you do not see, and just have to be positive. Look into the positivity of the current situation. Now, first and foremost, if you're at home, you're safe, and you are not exposed to a scenario which can be dangerous or which can be life threatening. That's
Yes,
the first blessing.
that's the
Secondly,
first
you
thing.
have an option to communicate, which was not available earlier. So that's second. Third, you are still able to communicate, and there are people you can communicate. I see a lot of videos on the Facebook and then some other social media that in the evening, people in those building communities, they come out together at 8 o'clock and then they sort of sing songs and shout, or they greet and all those things. I've seen people playing ping pong right across the balconies,
Oh yeah,
right, right, left, yeah. There are a lot of ways. You have time to connect with your family, play with your kids. I've seen people playing football at home
yeah.
with their kids.
I've seen people
So
exercising with kids, which is so much fun.
everything. See, yoga people are doing online. There are a lot of activities which are happening, still happening, It's just that you have changed the mode of doing it, and the environment is different, and that's all. It's still going
Yes,
on.
true. True.
Yeah.
So, are there any tips that you would like to share in work management, in people management, that you would like to share with the audience today through this?
As okay, since I deal with businesses, and then I have seen certain a little sorry to say the word, let's say hard managerial people or leaders,
Mhm.
they need to just understand that we are all human beings and we are all in the same environment.
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling stressed, that means the people on the other side also equally feeling the same stress.
Mm.
And if I feel boxed, then they are also boxed. So there has to be a little bit of leverage of understanding. The other part is that leave a room for let's say mistakes or negligence or distraction. These are all part and parcel of the game. As long as the work is being done, we have to be accommodating and acknowledging the efforts of the people who are working for us. So it's something we should be more appreciative rather than being into or onto the harder side of it.
Yeah.
And as a leader, okay, as a workman, yes, we should understand that there is certain thing which is called the necessity. The necessity has to be fulfilled, and then avoid something which is unnecessary. In office environment, yes, we have the whole day to complete the job, but probably when we are, like say, at home and there is something which is required, we don't know what is the scenario on the other side. The
Yeah.
person, especially people with HR. Now, in HR, there are a lot of requirements for visa renewals, certain requirements for applications, and then let's take the example of yesterday was the last day to submit your VAT returns. So there are a lot of consultants who were seeking information from their clients to register the VAT returns so that everything is online. And if they do not complete that yesterday, today would be the day starting for the fines and so on. So
Mm.
it's just that we have to be ready ahead of time and then be in a position to accommodate what is necessary. That's all.
True. Yes, I agree with you. We have to be ready. It's all about readiness and timely action. If
No,
actions are not made on time, if decisions are not made and actions are not taken on time, then we're all in trouble. This has been true even when the things were going on normal and we
many of
had
my
our
clients
office life.
Yeah, many of my clients are facing challenges because they were not ready for something like this. Now,
Mm.
when we look into the business continuity model or business plan, we always have these situations where there could be an emergency, there could be preparedness required for a situation which is unforeseen. It could be a natural disaster, it could be something around you, some accident or incident in your office
Yeah.
or a facility. So all these things have to be in your business plan so that you are ready for a situation, how to cope up. That is where the policies, procedures, SOPs, all the instructions come into place. Once we have those, and our staff or our employees are well empowered on that. The word empowerment I use is because they could be knowledgeable, they could be trained, but then if they do not know how to act responsibly as an individual, it will still hinder the process. It will not give you the output. So they have to be empowered in a way that if this is a situation, this is what your role is, this is how responsible you are, and this is where you will be accountable for. So all those things have to be laid down in a way so that the the process or the activity or your workflow is smooth and you do not face any difficulties in operations, and that's what we do.
True. That's a good idea and a good tip. A lot of
Uh,
people are saying the world will not be the same again. What do you think?
I think we learn the hard way. um, I saw a small kind of a funny sort of a, I don't know, cartoon. Yeah, somebody had developed that there are people in the old Stone Age sitting children and asking somebody old like a grandpa or so that how was it before COVID-19. So now, if you look at it, we were all dependent on much of relying on other people or relying on other resources.
Mm.
But now we have to do a lot of things. Now, take it humorously or in practical way, a lot of people never used to work at home in their own home for the chores and all those things, but now they are part of it because they don't want external people to come in and be exposed to an environment which they don't want. So they are avoiding the outside helpers or the workers, but they are doing themselves at home. So a lot of husbands and wives are working together. There is a little bit of a humor also that okay, men are doing work and then women are relaxing and all. That's equally part of life.
Yeah, we all share the burden, isn't it?
But just see, a lot of people will learn new things which they have never learned or which they never would have if the situation was not there. You would never spend so much of time with your kids. And
True.
I know of a couple of friends who are actually sitting with kids and learning with them while they are learning online. So they are saying, okay, we never learned this in our life, or this was not in part of our course material. And now we are learning because we are sitting and we are doing our work, but then the children are doing it alongside with us. And this is something new. This is a concept which I never knew. So there is a lot of learning alongside with your kids even. So uh,
It's a
yes,
new style of sharing.
there will be a change. Of course, there will be always. See, yeah, it's a new style, a new way, and probably I would say a very subtle way of learning different things.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What are your two major inspirations at the moment that keep you going from day to day stuff?
I read a quote once. It says, "If you look through the window, you will have a limited view. But if you look through a closed window, it's just your imagination, and your imagination has no limits." So keep yourself positive. There is always a sunlight after the night. And we just have to keep our hopes up and then try to stay healthy and alive. Now,
Yes, yes.
I just did this course with this university. It is a very popular course. Everybody should do that. I mean, there is a link. I'll send it to you, and you can share probably with your audience. You should
Yes.
go and then do this course. It's a 30-minute course online. It gives you enough information to be healthy and safe. Now,
Okay.
we were discussing yesterday in one of the incentive platforms. What are we doing alongside where we feel that we are healthy? Eat what you need to eat. You don't need to, because generally what people do is when they are at home, they're watching movies, they're watching or relaxing, they keep on eating. They're like sort of munching. So no need to do that. No need to go for all the junk food and stuff. Stay healthy, take vitamin C, do a little bit of walk and exercise around your house. And we were joking, and then everybody was like kind of okay, telling us what is the best practices. And I was telling them, fine. I have walked so much in my own one-bedroom flat that I can close my eyes and walk from point to point without touching anything.
Wow.
You see, this is the limited space, and then
Yeah,
you have to walk yourself. You cannot just stay sitting.
true.
And the practice is that every 1 to 2 hours, you have to at least get up and walk for at least 5 to 7 minutes. Let your muscles, let your joints relax a little bit. But if you keep sitting, and then of course definitely you'll fall into another category of
Yeah, there will be
sickness.
more problems. You will be
Try not
obese, there will be issues.
try to open your windows, go to the balcony, but then not from 8 to 2. That is the 8 to 6 in the morning. That's the time which they told not to do that. But during the day, during the sunlight, keep your windows open, let the fresh air come in, and let yourself be freshened up a little bit. So, and yeah, vitamin C, oranges, well, the best source, lemon, liquids, water.
Yeah,
Try to drink as much as you want. Yeah.
yes, true. Okay, all right, great. It's a pleasure talking with you, Mr. Atik. If people want to connect
Pleasure is
with
all
you,
mine.
where should they find you?
Well, you have my website is there, advantixprocess.com. You
Okay.
have my LinkedIn profile by the name of Atique Muhammad, Atique
We will show
Muhammad.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, you can show that, and then my yeah,
Instagram.
Instagram is again Atique Muhammad. Also, you have my Facebook with the same Atique Muhammad. It's one same name all across. Yeah.
Social media.
So yeah, stay safe
Definitely.
and yeah, then stay connected.
Definitely, yes. Obviously, we
Yeah.
will be connected to you.
So,
We are hosting a networking event tomorrow, inshallah, at 4 p.m. And everybody, including Mr. Atik, may join us. And it's not necessary for you to be a business owner to be in that. You can be just
but
anybody coming for networking purpose.
let me just check my schedule and then I'll definitely put in. Yeah.
All
Sure.
right. Okay. Pleasure talking with you today. You
Pleasure's all
shared
mine.
wonderful ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. And then, yeah, have a nice day. And then, yeah, stay safe. See you around.
See you.